Last 4.5 years with respect to the farming and fishing industries. I look at things like the low interest loan program that we brought in, participating in rationalization, partnering with the federal government towards agri-stability and agri-invest, buy local campaigns, the culinary trail and things like that. And I think those are things we need to focus on. We need to continue to focus on our top quality products that we have from both our agriculture industries and our fishing industries here in PEI, and continue to focus on expanding current markets but looking to new markets as well. And I think that's the secret. We have top quality product and we need to tell the world about it.
Well, if we're elected, what we'll do, farming and fishing is a prime industry in PEI, and what we'll do, we'll sit down at the table, with the farmers, and we'll discuss with the farmers, best for them. This side of the table, we'll sit down with the fishermen, and we'll discuss with the fishermen in which way we'll go with the fishermen.
Yeah, especially with farmers, they're the backbone of our local economy, and we believe that they deserve a special tax break, so that if they have a tax break, it'll cost less for people in the community to buy their products, and that money goes directly back into our local economy, and it doesn't go off island. Because right now, in a lot of our stores, you see that a lot of the produce and a lot of the products come from off island, and it's usually cheaper too, which is a shame. But when that happens, that money goes off island, and it doesn't go back into our economy.
And what about fishermen?
With the yeah, that relates directly with the fish plant here in Surrey, which is closed down. If that was a co-op, then the fishermen in the community would have much more of a choice and more control over the price of lobster and the price of fish. And that way, the money, the profit that's made off the fish plant as a co-op, it would also go directly back into our own local economy. Absolutely. I think it's a shame that the hospitals were closed down, because it's dangerous too in a way. When you centralize everything into the hospital in Charlottetown, and to an extent the one in Summerside, then you have longer wait times, and also the distance you need to travel. And with that sort of a situation, it makes people less willing to go see a doctor or a physician, not just in times of emergency, but with minor situations too. And it's completely possible too. The money's there.
Most definitely we should have emergency care in Kings County.
Right, is that something that you would commit to, or?
Yes, our government will commit to that.
It's a challenge. It really is challenging, and it's something that we've had discussions with physicians about too, and with frontline service providers. And I think what we need to do is try and deliver medical services in PEI that address both the service end, and also front and center needs to be patient safety. So we need to strike that balance. Physician access is a key. And of course, in District 1 right now, we're down a couple of physicians. We need to address that immediately. It's certainly a top priority of myself, of the Department of Health as well, the situation here in Surrey. And physician access is a key, and we need to continue to work to address that.
I think a lot of the debt comes from perks, and with money being given to some interest groups and people who are in the pockets, or who have the government, today's government, in their own pockets. So with the perks especially, we can save a lot of money just by cutting those. So with us, the Island Party will take a salary cut. So with the regular MLA, right now they make $65,000 a year just starting off. With us, we would cut that to $50,000 a year, and we wouldn't take the bonuses that MLAs get for sitting on committees. For each committee an MLA sits on, they get an extra $5,000 a year, plus their perks. They get paid to travel, they get paid to show up. Like nobody in any other job, you don't get paid extra to travel to work or to show up. That's just what you get paid for. So with that, we can save a lot of money and invest that directly back into our local communities. And also, a lot of money is spent on the the bureaucracy and the civil servants on PEI, but we aren't, it's not part of our mandate in this election to cut those, their salaries. But we are saying that every Islander should know exactly how much those civil servants make, and open it up so that Islanders can decide if they're making enough money or making too much money for the job they're doing. And that way, with transparency with the bureaucracy and civil servants, we should be able to save money and make it more efficient. But no, we have no plans on cutting social programs at all.
Debt and deficit. If not, how will you deal with the debt and deficit?
Well, I think one of the ways that we need to look at dealing with the debt and deficit is to work to improve our revenue situation here in the province. Certainly, to cut services is a drastic measure. Certainly, I think that would be something that would be probably looked at as a last resort. But I think we need to work on the revenue side, but towards generating new revenue. We need to work closely with the federal government as well on equalization. We've always been relying on equalization. Perhaps we always will be, but it's very important that we foster that partnership as well to make sure that they give us as much support as they possibly can.
No, we won't cut social services. We're trying to create jobs right now, and if you start cutting civil servants, you're creating more job loss. And to deal with the deficit, you have to stop spending at the top.
I think we are dealing with it. You look at the investments that we've made here, a new long-term care facility, investing in seniors through palliative care drug programs, emergency ambulance service, seniors co-pay on drugs, seniors home repair program, investments in home care, really, I think a key area. It's very important, and I've heard from Islanders as I've gone door to door too, that most of our seniors would prefer to stay in their own home, and we need to provide the supports to allow them to do that. I think that's essential, and that's key, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Well, aging population, Jonathan, is just a fact of life in Prince Edward Island, and what we'd have to do is prepare our communities for the aging population. Preparing the community, you would have to housing, healthcare, social services, etc.
Especially with the heating for seniors, the cost of living for them is so much more difficult because they have these high bills but they have no income, and the income they do have is so little, so it's very hard to live off of. So we would definitely put policies in place to ensure that seniors have enough money or get more money to pay for their heating especially, as well as some prescription medication.
No, I don't think they should be fired for broken promises. I think they should be held accountable.
And then how would they be held accountable?
Well, when the people of Prince Edward Island go to the polling stations to vote, they'll decide who broke promises.
Oh, that can be very vague and dangerous. But I think, yes, I think absolutely, because there's no use in talking the talk unless they can walk the walk. So unless they can make their promises sustainable, and if they know that they're unrealistic, then it's nothing less than lies. So they should be fired.
Okay, and that's all I have. Do you have anything to add?
Not at this time, no.
Okay.
Well, I guess every party runs a platform during an election campaign, and certainly, I guess, following an election, during a mandate, situations change, circumstances change, and that gives cause a lot of times to, I guess, realign priorities. If every time a government did that, if someone was fired, I guess there would be a lot of hiring and firing going on over the years. I don't think it's really realistic. I think that certainly all parties go in, with the intention of keeping the commitments. But again, circumstances do change, and that requires, I guess, a reorganization of priorities, and we see that all the time.